So I get asked the question, does the relationship with Eastman cheapen the Bourgeois brand? And I'll just say it hasn't. I'm still here. Everyone else is still here. If the quality of our guitars goes south, it's our fault, not theirs.
Well, the future's right now looking very, very bright. We're just, as I was saying earlier, we're more and more every day plugging into our partnership with Eastman. And with the launch of the Touchstone guitars and the new line of mandolins, we're seeing ourselves being able to break into new regions that we've never had much of a presence in, but even more importantly, bringing that boutique ethos and that sound of a Bourgeois guitar to the widest audience we've ever been able to.
Yeah, so the relationship with Eastman is that they are the majority owner of Bourgeois Guitars, and we sort of operate independently as a brand. They didn't change any personnel, any management. I'm still the CEO, and we've been co-producing a new line of guitars, which we actually shipped the first of this very week. It's been a long time coming. The pandemic has really slowed down our this project, but it's finally come to fruition. After we were approached by Eastman, we did our homework and found that sort of in Eastman's price range, they're probably the highest regarded manufacturer in the world. To sort of put everything in perspective, the average Bourgeois guitar sells on the street for about $7,000. We build 450 guitars a year here in Lewiston. We keep inching the production up, but we would have to build tens of thousands of guitars to sort of afford the equipment and facility to be able to build instruments in the price range of the Touchstones.
So the soundboard assembly for a Touchstone guitar looks like this. This is the new Touchstone Vintage TS-OM, the soundboard assembly. And this is 100% indistinguishable from the soundboard that we make here for our Lewiston-made guitars. From here, we make batches of 40 of these, and we vacuum seal them, and we send them to our friends at Eastman. And so what the Eastman team will do is they will take this soundboard and they'll add it to the rest of the body that they've constructed. And they also construct the neck that's made off of Dana's design. Very, very intricate details in the design. But their neck is, again, indistinguishable from the Bourgeois neck. And so Eastman puts the whole guitar together in a kind of a specialized little custom shop area that they've built just for assembling the Bourgeois. And then they ship the guitars back to us. And then they go through our normal setup process, the QC bench. We have our technicians that do the setups on our Lewiston guitars also are working on these guitars and making sure that the setup and the playability is everything that we are accustomed to. The level of craftsmanship that we've seen come out of the Eastman shop is so high, I can say confidently, I don't know of another instrument manufacturer that would be able to represent Dana's vision in a flat top guitar the way that Eastman has.
They use more hand labor than we do. I mean, they're sort of moving in the direction of some automation at this time, but their craftsmen are amazing, very highly skilled. If they can learn to make something a little bit better, they apply it almost immediately. I mean, it's really amazing how quickly that company can respond.
Just look at what we've been able to do for our people since the partnership started. We've added 50% to our head count here in just 3 years, and we're looking at doubling that again. So no part of that is offboarding jobs. And when we think about the folks that are building the Bourgeois guitars in China, Well, those guys already had jobs. First of all, I think that if anyone, and hopefully someday, we'll all be able to travel again and folks will be afforded the opportunity to see what's going on in the Eastman workshops. But I mean, these are just phenomenally talented craftspeople that love what they do, just like we do. And in fact, the folks that are building the Bourgeois guitars are getting paid now significantly more because they put all this time into training, into our building, and it's kind of a badge of honor. It's an aspirational piece for the luthiers in Eastman's workshop to be part of the Bourgeois team. So when I look around and I actually look at where the rubber meets the road, okay, so we've increased, our average wage here in Lewiston. We've increased our head count by 50%. We're looking at doubling it. We're offering, healthcare and retirement benefits to all our people for the first time in the company's history. We're building the best guitars we ever have with the same people, the same materials in the same location, and we're elevating the quality of the instruments coming off the Eastman line and improving the compensation and quality of life for the workers in that shop. I just don't see how anyone loses in that equation. I don't. So that's where just sort of that soundbite of, Bourgeois sold out to China. I feel like it's important to pause and kind of dissect that a little bit and think about what that means. And there are probably some concerns that folks have that I haven't addressed here. But I think the important piece for me is that when I hear that, I hear people being legitimately concerned about the welfare of people, regardless of where they were born or where they reside. And I think that if Dana had caught even a whiff of anything that ran contrary to those interests as he and I were sort of approaching this conversation with Eastman, he would have walked away in a heartbeat, and we just never did. I think the question I've heard most from them over the last 3 years is, how can we help? So their interest from the outset was specifically on helping us realize the vision that Dana already held for the company and the future of the company. And I've got a Rolodex full of companies that wanted to work with us and wanted to make these types of partnerships happen, but they all seemed to be sort of chasing their own ends, and at the end of the rainbow for all of them was a dollar bill. And that's just not what drives Dana. So I think that was kind of it, is they were really interested in the history of the brand and where Dana wanted to take it and what they could do to support that vision.
And yeah, exactly, that's our hope. I mean, we expect to make better guitars next year than we made this year. We know we make better guitars this year than we made last year, and that's our corporate culture.